Hey Rick, I wanted to ask you, maybe tell us a little bit about your background. How did you get into rapping?
Well, I actually started a long time ago, man. I started rapping when I was very, very young. This is back when, this would be telling my age a little bit, but when breakdancing was out. Yeah, I was, elementary school, just a young child, and we had this little breakdancing group, and this guy, I was like the leader of the breakdancing group. So, we would breakdance on recess or whatever. So one of the guys came to me and was like, since you're the leader, you should rap instead of breakdancing. And I thought he was trying to crack on me, saying I couldn't breakdance, so I should do something else.
Right.
So, but I listened to what he said, and I started rapping, and really, just little simple raps. Like, I got a friend, his name is Ken. So I would, started rapping then. As the years went on, I started getting to production because I didn't have anybody to make my beats for me, so I started making my own beats.
Right.
So that's how I got into production. Time went on, really started getting serious about it more and more, started going to buy more equipment, getting into studios, got a little bit older, and then right around the time where I was, 22, 23 years old, I had grew up in the church, but I really wasn't living it at the time.
Right.
I would go to church on Sundays, but for the most part, that was it.
Sure. Right.
So I really came into a time period where I was ready to rededicate my life to the Lord. I had my own record label. I was a partner in the record label. I had my own production company, secular artist, making music or whatever, and releasing. Actually, I think we just released a CD or something like that, and started coming to this church, Columbus Christian Center, and really it just changed my life. So I got to the point where I knew that I didn't want to live any other way that wasn't glorifying the Lord. So I called a meeting with the president of the record label. I think I was, I can't remember what my position was, but I was the president, he was the CEO or something like that. So I called him in, called the artist in for a meeting, and I basically told him that I was done.
Wow. Wow.
So I stopped rapping, stopped producing, and I pretty much just shut everything down. So I didn't know what I was going to do at that point. I was coming to church, I was finished, I was going to live for the Lord.
Sure.
And then probably about a month later, I think what I was going to do was produce for the youth praise team at church. I was going to inquire about that.
Okay.
But then about a month later or so, the Lord really showed me to get involved, doing Christian rap. I didn't even know it existed. I had no clue. My mind had never fathomed that there would be Christian rappers. So to make a long story short, I met a couple guys that were actually Christian rappers at the church.
Right.
And that's kind of how the rap ministry or the rap team started here, and I became a part of that. And really just kind of took off from there. I met a couple other guys, formed another record label. Since then, I had the opportunity to travel to Houston, minister at the Holy Hip Hop Awards in Atlanta, ministered at Dr. Price's church or their youth facility in LA, in Virginia, and a variety of different places. So the Lord has really, used me and allowed me to be successful.
Wow, wow. What are some of the testimonies maybe that's come out of some of the things that you've said?
Well, the biggest ones is, something that you mentioned a while ago was there was one New Year's service that I was going to minister here at Columbus Christian Center, and I was doing a song, and I was really nervous about it because it was a type of song I'd never heard before. I've never heard anybody else do it, and I was interested in doing it because I thought it would really provoke a altar call response. And it's a song called Would You Love Me? The song was really talking about, Lord, if I committed all of these sins, would you still love me? Would you love me? If I came to you, would you accept me? So I did that song, and at the end of that song, Pastor Forbes had an altar call, and there was tons of people, at the altar call. And that was really the first exposure that I had that rap music could be used to draw people into the kingdom. And since then, there's been other instances where we've done songs, and afterwards, the altar's been flooded with people that were either rededicating their life, getting saved for the first time, joining the church, you know, things like that. So
Absolutely.
I think that's the biggest thing that made the biggest impact on me that I'm excited about.
Sure. Yeah, I'm excited about it too. You know, we both know that the Bible says in Colossians, I believe it's chapter 1, that all things are created by Him and for Him. And so, you know, we look at these other creative things like rapping, stepping, you know, all types of art forms.
Right.
And that originally those things, everything has a purpose to point back to Him, to point back to God.
Absolutely.
So, you know, I appreciate your ministry and the way that you guys are able to take rapping and make sure that God is glorified in that. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to piggyback on one thing that you said, I mean, God has, you know, we're all a part of the body. You know, we all have different purposes and uses. And, you know, I've had situations where we've had customers buy our CDs from as far as Tokyo.
Wow.
So Tokyo, the Netherlands, you know, we get airplay in Europe and all across the country. I mean, Bermuda, you know, there's people internationally that have been impacted by what the Lord has used us to do. So, you know, it's amazing because, you know, there's going to be Christian country music, there's going to be Christian reggae music, you know, all these different type of facets. So we would be foolish to believe that the Lord couldn't use or wouldn't use rap music to reach His people. So,
That's powerful.
So it's just very important that people understand that God is so powerful that He can do what He wants to do. And there's somebody out there that He wants to reach and they love rap music. And if they get the right music, then at least it'll be an entry or an open point or an open doorway for God to speak to them.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Thanks a lot, man.
All right, no problem, man.
All right.
All right.